If you own SCHD and VYM and maybe even DGRO, you're probably getting 4 dividend payments per year: March, June, September, December. And then, nothing. 8 months of silence while your portfolio sits there, generating zero income to your bank account. That's the dirty secret of dividend ETF investing that nobody warns you about. The 5 most popular dividend ETFs in America all pay in the exact same months, every single one. You could own all 5 and still only see cash 4 times a year. But what if you could restructure a simple 3 ETF portfolio and turn those 4 payments into 12? Not with some complicated options strategy, not with risky high-yield junk, just 3 funds, 2 you already know, and 1 that fills the gaps. Quick disclaimer: I'm not a financial advisor and this isn't financial advice. Always do your own research before making any investment decisions. Today, I'm going to show you the stagger problem that most dividend channels never mention, give you a specific portfolio allocation that generates income in all 12 months, and run the real numbers on what $200,000 looks like when it's built for monthly cash flow. But the budgeting trick at the end, the one that turns an uneven income stream into a smooth monthly paycheck, that's the part retirees need to hear. Let me start by showing you the problem. Because once you see it, you can't unsee it. SCHD pays dividends in March, June, September, and December. VYM pays dividends in March, June, September, and December. DGRO? March, June, September, and December. SPYD? Same. HDV? Same. 5 of the most popular dividend ETFs on the planet. And they all operate on the exact same quarterly schedule. If your entire portfolio is built around these funds, you get 4 big deposits per year and 8 months of absolutely nothing. For someone in the accumulation phase, still working, still adding money, this doesn't matter much. The dividends get reinvested automatically and the timing is irrelevant. But for someone in retirement who needs dividend income to cover monthly bills, this is a huge problem. Your rent is due every month. Your groceries cost money every week. Your car payment doesn't pause because SCHD only pays quarterly. You need cash flowing every month. And a portfolio of quarterly payers clustered in the same 4 months doesn't deliver that. So how do you fix it? You add a monthly payer, and the one that makes the most sense for a dividend-focused portfolio is JEPI, JP Morgan Equity Premium Income ETF. JEPI pays income every single month. It yields between 7 and 8%. And while it does have trade-offs with total return, which I covered in a separate deep dive, its ability to fill the 8 empty months in a quarterly dividend portfolio is genuinely valuable. Here's the portfolio I'd build. 3 ETFs, simple allocations, monthly income, 40% in SCHD. This is your quality foundation. 104 hand-picked dividend stocks, each with at least 10 years of consistent payments plus 4 financial health screens. Yield of 3.37%. Expense ratio of 0.06%. SCHD is the bedrock. It gives you dividend growth, quality holdings, and one of the lowest costs in the industry. 30% in VYM. This is your diversification engine. 572 dividend-paying companies, nearly 6 times more than SCHD. Yield of 2.32%. Expense ratio of just 0.04%. The cheapest dividend ETF after Vanguard's recent fee cut. VYM ensures you're not overexposed to any single stock or sector. It's the safety net. 30% in JEPI. This is your monthly income filler. It pays every single month without fail. Yield of 7 to 8%. Expense ratio of 0.35%. Higher than the other 2, but you're paying for the option strategy that generates that income. JEPI's job in this portfolio isn't growth, it's cash flow. It fills the 8 months that SCHD and VYM leave empty. Now, let me show you what this actually looks like on $100,000. Your $40,000 in SCHD generates roughly $1,348 per year, paid across 4 quarterly deposits of about $337 each. Your $30,000 in VYM generates roughly $696 per year, paid quarterly at about $174 each. Your $30,000 in JEPI generates roughly $2,250 per year, paid monthly at about $188 each. Total annual dividend income from $100,000, $4,294. That's a blended yield of about 4.3%. Here's the monthly breakdown. In January, you receive $188 from JEPI. February, same. $188 from JEPI. Then March hits, and you get $337 from SCHD, plus $174 from VYM, plus $188 from JEPI. That's $699 in a single month. April drops back to $188. May is $188. Then June is another big month at $699, and this pattern repeats. 8 lean months at $188 and 4 big months at roughly $700. Is it perfectly smooth? No. But compare that to 0 income in 8 months with an all-quarterly portfolio. Now you're getting something every single month. And the big quarterly months? Those become your savings buffer. Now let me scale this up to Harry's retirement portfolio. Harry has $200,000. He allocates $80,000 to SCHD, $60,000 to VYM, and $60,000 to JEPI. Same 40-30-30 split. SCHD generates $2,696 per year. VYM generates $1,392. JEPI generates $4,500. Total, $8,588 per year. That's $716 per month on average. But Harry's actual monthly cash flow looks like this. 8 lean months. He receives about $375 from JEPI alone. 4 big months. He receives about $1,735 from all 3 funds combined. Here's the budgeting trick that makes this work. Harry takes his annual total, $8,588, and divides by 12. That's $716 per month. He sets up a high-yield savings account as a buffer. When the big quarterly months hit and he gets $1,735, he takes his $716 and moves the surplus, about $1,019, into the buffer account. During the 8 lean months when he only gets $375, he pulls $341 from the buffer to top up to his $716 target. The result? A consistent $716 hitting Harry's checking account every single month. 12 months a year. No gaps, no feast or famine. Just smooth, predictable income from a 3 ETF portfolio. And the portfolio itself costs almost nothing. The blended expense ratio is about 0.13%, $13 per year on every $10,000 invested. That's less than what most financial advisors charge per month. Now, is this portfolio perfect? No. And I want to be honest about the trade-offs. JEPI's 30% allocation means 30% of your portfolio has capped upside during bull markets. If the S&P 500 rips 30% in a year, JEPI might capture 15%. That's the price of monthly income. SCHD and VYM overlap significantly. About 86% of SCHD's holdings exist inside VYM. You're not getting full diversification between those two, but the weighting differences mean they don't perform identically. And SCHD's quality screens add a layer VYM doesn't have. And the whole portfolio yields about 4.3%, which means on $100,000 you're generating $4,294 per year. That's not enough to live on by itself. It's a supplement, a foundation, something that grows over time as dividend increases compound and you add more capital. The goal isn't to live off $100,000 in dividends. The goal is to build the system that will eventually pay your bills. Start with this structure at any amount. Keep adding. Let the dividends reinvest during your working years. And when you're ready to flip the switch from accumulation to distribution, the monthly income machine is already built. You don't need 10 ETFs. You don't need a complicated spreadsheet. You need 3 funds, a simple allocation, and a buffer account. That's the whole strategy. If you want deeper breakdowns on each of these ETFs, including why SCHD just became more accessible and the real numbers behind JEPI's income trade-off, those videos are right here. And if you're already building a monthly income portfolio, drop your allocation in the comments. I want to see what you're working with.